Had power blip the other day, now all the 220-volt appliances will not work. Check the main feed coming into the house. Line to ground was 117 volts, but line to line did not give me a reading. All of the 110 volt in the house is working fine. No trip breakers. What is going on?
Hello. Welcome to Just Answer. Are you sure all of the 120-volt circuits in the house are operational? This sounds like a dead leg. If so, it could be from the utility company or a faulty main breaker. If possible, it would be good if we could take a couple of readings in the panel to check the functionality of the main breaker. Another step in troubleshooting this issue is to turn off all of the double pole branch circuit breakers to see if you lose power to any of your 120-volt circuits.
I also checked both sides of the panel with a no-touch sensor and got hot readings all the way down the circuit panel. Haven't found any dead outlets or lights in the house.
Do you have a multimeter?
Yes.
Okay, great. Please set it for AC volts, then place one probe on each of the main lugs on the main breaker and post the reading here.
Give me a few minutes.
I see that you already did that and got a 0 reading, if I am reading your original question accurately. If so, the problem could be in the meter base, or at the pole or pad-mounted transformer. It could also be a loose splice near the weatherhead, if you have an overhead drop feeding your house. Most likely, if you turn off all double pole breakers in the panel, you will lose power to some of the 120-volt circuits. There has to be a backfeed if there is a dead leg coming into the house.
Line to line is 0, line to ground is 116 on both legs.
How many double pole breakers do you have in the panel? Please turn them off and see if any lights or outlets lose power. If so, we would next need to take readings in the meter base. However, some municipalities really frown on consumers opening meter bases. If you think we should proceed with that step, I can tell you how to do it. When your power blinked, do you know if you were the only house affected?
Don't know about any other households. Meter base has one of those lock tabs on it. The readings I gave you are from the entry serve cable side of the main breaker. I will turn off the double pole breakers and say what happens, back in a few minutes.
Sounds good. With the meter base being locked, your next step will be to call your utility provider. Anything ahead of your main breaker is their problem to troubleshoot. But if the meter base has a problem with one of the lugs, assuming they operate like the 2 utilities I work with in my jurisdiction, they will tell you to call a contractor to replace the meter base.
Double breakers are off and all the 110 is still good. Check the voltage below the main breaker and the readings were the same. Line to line was 0 and lines to ground were 116.
That's very odd, for sure. Do you have any subpanels?
One, but that is one of the 220 breakers that I turned off. It is a small subpanel in the garage. I have 2 power tools that are wired for 220 and neither of those were working.
That makes sense, that it would have been eliminated as a possible backfeed source when you turned off all double pole breakers. Well, even though the readings are strange, with no 240 showing when reading from main to main, I would call the utility company out. I am very interested in hearing what they find. I should say the readings aren't strange, but the fact that all 120 is working without a backfeed is strange.
Okay, thanks Jason. How should I get back to you when I find out the problem?
Log on to www.justanswer.com, click My Questions in the upper right corner of the page, and follow the link on that page back to this chat. I have to get a few things done today, so I may not be online when you return. If that happens, I'll find your reply and respond accordingly as soon as I log back on.
Thanks.
You are most welcome. Thank you.
I'm satisfied since it helped me move on the next step. Job is not over yet.
Looking forward to helping you get this resolved. We'll reconnect later this afternoon. Thanks again.
Jason, actually had my daughter call the power company since I was unable to. She gave all the info to them. They responded a few hours later. Determined there was a problem. Did not have the right testing equipment, returned an hour later. Started testing, checked the poles up the line and found a broken wire. They were surprised that nobody else had called since it affected about 5 other houses. Thanks for helping me narrow it down. All is well.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.